Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some Pittsburgh Steelers tape breakdown and analysis. Want to talk about something requested by several viewers of the channel already. On Tuesday, Mike Tomlin made comments about the Steelers' leverage or lack thereof in coverage. I want to read the quote here for you guys in just a moment to talk about specifically what he said, and then we'll get into the tape and break down some examples of the miscues in the secondary that Tomlin is referring to. So Tomlin Tuesday, he said, quote, when you're talking coverage, every coverage has a leverage. And whatever the coverage prescribes inside or outside, that's the place that you can't get beat. And too often we're losing coverage to the side of leverage. And so we've got to get better in that area. We're not making a big enough point of that. Guys are not leverage aware enough. And so to bring it back to the film, there's three examples from Sunday's win over Cleveland that I think really shows what Tomlin's talking about when he says losing leverage to your side. When you're playing, for example, inside leverage and you're getting beat inside, or you're playing outside leverage and you're getting beat outside. There's no help to that side because you're the leverage guy. You're supposed to funnel that one away from leverage, not to your leverage side. So three examples of what Tomlin's talking about that got Pittsburgh into trouble on Sunday. First one comes on 3rd and 6 early in this game, and the guy to watch here is number 21 rookie Trey Norwood. You'll see here initially he's aligning outside leverage, and this is going to be man-free cover one. So Minka Fitzpatrick has the deep middle in this play. He's the free safety. He's in zone. Everyone else in man, and Trey Norwood in this play has outside leverage. And the idea is if the receiver goes inside, he's going to be funneled closer to Minka, closer to that inside and over the middle help. And so we'll see on the snap here. This is going to be, I believe, Jarvis Landry. He's going to have a nice stem at the top of the route and gain outside leverage here on Trey Norwood, who again has outside leverage on this play. And so you'll see Norwood lose that leverage here as Landry stems his route. That little nod to the inside gets Norwood to jump inside, and now he's playing inside of him, and that gives Landry the edge to run the corner route to the sideline. So Norwood loses that outside leverage on this play, allows a lot of separation there at the break point, and then misses the tackle as well. And it's a conversion on 3rd and 6 for Cleveland. So Norwood, tough play in space for sure. When you're playing man-free coverage like that against a really good route runner, a crafty veteran in Jarvis Landry. But again, Norwood outside leverage here initially, and then gives that up and allows Landry to break to the outside and pick up the first down. Third quarter, 2nd and 8, and there's a couple of different layers to this one. The guy to watch here is TJ Watt, who gets aligned here on Jarvis Landry on this play. And trust me, I've talked about as much as anybody about linebackers getting matched up on receivers, the difficulty of that matchup, and the Steelers' unfortunate insistence on that being a winnable matchup for them. But Joe Schobert made a comment a couple weeks ago that when you're in those situations, you really have to rely on your leverage more than anything else. You have to play with your leverage because if you don't play with leverage against a receiver, I mean, you already have no chance or little chance to win that battle with leverage, and you certainly have no chance if you're not using your leverage against a receiver. So TJ Watt here on the snap of the football, inside leverage on this play, but he gives it up as Landry again stems that route well, that little jab step, and he wins to the inside. And then what you see after the catch is what Mike Tomlin's talking about, all that yards after the catch, because that ball can't go to the inside. There's no help here to the inside. The route's supposed to go to the outside to where there's going to be more help likely on this play. So again, that's a very tough matchup for TJ Watt. It's hard to fault him really at all. But again, it's about understanding the leverage of that play. And TJ Watt here, inside leverage initially, gives it up here. And then Landry crosses his face over the middle of the field, and the yak here's the real big thing to look at. So in that situation, obviously the odds of TJ Watt even playing with good leverage, giving up a catch here is pretty high. But the yak is probably the real big talking point of this play about how the lack of leverage will allow all that yak here because, again, middle of the field, there's no help here at all. There's more help here from Joe Hayden, for example, if TJ Watt maintains leverage and forces, but I assume here's an option route potentially to the outside for Jarvis Landry. We'll see if it shows up here on the end zone view. Not really, but you'll kind of see Landry come across here. So we'll look at it and then move on to the next play. And again, you see Landry, all that space here, middle of the field, no help at all, and that creates a lot of yak for Jarvis Landry. Our last example is a play that I've already shown. This is the fourth down play that Minka Fitzpatrick broke up and did a great job here. He had deep half assignment on this play and comes across the field to break up this pass again, intended for Jarvis Landry. Talk about playing really good, slot receivers, route runners. Jarvis Landry, a name that comes up quite a bit, and so it's no coincidence when we talk about leverage and help and those kinds of things. We're focusing quite a bit middle of the field type stuff and focusing on Jarvis Landry. But just to kind of go over this again, if you did not watch the video from the other day about Minka Fitzpatrick in that breakup again, Cam Sutton here playing two man, so it's two deep zone. Terrell Edmonds deep half for Minka Fitzpatrick, and the underneath coverage all playing with inside leverage. I'm trying to take away in breaking routes and forcing these guys vertical into the outside where the safeties can provide more help. And so Cam Sutton initially has inside leverage here, and you see that from the rest of the group. There's Trey Norwood, there's Joe Hayden, there's James Pierre, but he loses that leverage here as he gets to the outside of Landry, and Landry crosses his face here and breaks open to the middle of the field, I should say. And could have been a completion certainly if Landry comes down with this catch. If Baker Mayfield gets that ball out a bit quicker, that's Cam Sutton losing his leverage side here. Minka makes a fantastic play to bail him out and break up the pass. But again, the idea on this play was Sutton and the rest of the DBs underneath to have that inside trail technique, to have inside leverage, which he does initially, but then Landry stacks on top of him and wins that inside leverage on this play. And it could have and should have really resulted in a completion and a conversion in a very crucial spot of the game, fourth quarter, up by 5. And Minka Fitzpatrick, luckily, makes, to me, one of the plays of the game to break this one up and basically cinch and clinch the game for Pittsburgh. So there you go, 3 plays to show the Steelers' lack of leverage and how it's hurting them. I understand it's tough to play coverage in today's NFL. It feels like you look at a receiver wrong, they're going to throw a flag on you. But when Mike Tomlin talks about losing their leverage and not playing with correct leverage and getting beat to their leverage side, those are the things he's talking about. That's what's going to create yak. That's going to create more completions allowed, and that's what Pittsburgh has to improve upon, according to Mike Tomlin. We'll see if they do on Monday night when they play rookie Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. Appreciate you guys watching. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you guys have not done so already. Again, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.